Well, good afternoon, everyone. This is Mike Bass back again with another forecast update for you for this October the 25th, 2023. I'm hoping everybody's having a great Wednesday out there so far. Hope everybody has a great Wednesday afternoon. Hope everybody continues to stay safe and well and also enjoy the weather because it's the only weather you got. Okay, in today's video, we're going to be talking about Hurricane Tammy in the video as well. We're looking at satellite imagery here. This is Tammy. Tammy is a Category 2 on the Saffir-Simpson hurricane wind scale. I mentioned something a couple of days ago. I said it could become a Category 2 when it was 75 miles an hour. I thought it would maybe become a tropical tropical storm, but it regained strength because it hit a little patch of warm water over where it's at now. It is producing some winds of 105 miles an hour plus higher gusts. Also, it's got an eye wall in the center of the storm as well. We'll continue to monitor that. It's supposed to weaken down as it continues. It's supposed to move to the northeast and then eventually back toward Bermuda. So we'll keep an eye on that as well. Show a little bit of signs of development, but nothing right now. There's some scattered activity over here in the Central Caribbean Sea MDR region. Scattered activity over here portion of Cuba. The Caribbean Sea, south of Cuba and Jamaica, and also the Dominican Republic as well. Some moving into portions of Central America. Here's that little tropical wave that moved through Central America that emerged in the tropical Pacific, that is, excuse me. Here is Hurricane Otis. Otis hit Mexico as a Category 5 hurricane. As it made landfall, it still remains a Category 1 or 2 hurricane as it remains over Mexico. Also, we got some shower activity. Also, we got that winter storm raging on the northern and northwestern portion of the United States. We'll take a look at that in just a minute as well. Also, if you have not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and consider subscribing. I'd love to have you. Also, like these videos, share these videos, consider subscribing one more time if you have not. And let's go ahead and finish up the forecast here, and we're going to move on to Hurricane Tammy. Hurricane Tammy is a Category 2 hurricane with 105 miles an hour winds. Very, very healthy this afternoon. Look like the eye wall may be collapsing just a little bit as it moves over cooler water. When it continues to move on off to the north a little bit further, it should start to weaken some as it continues to the northeast and then eventually back to the west. Alright, let's take a look at the forecast cone from the National Hurricane Center. Alright, you can see here's the tropical storm force wind field. Still in the yellow here, you can see a little bit of the hurricane force wind right behind the X. It was located near latitude with 105 miles an hour with higher gusts and moving to the northeast at 13 miles an hour. Classified as a hurricane with winds of 74 to 110 miles per hour. It's not too far off from that Category 3 hurricane status. If it gets a little bit more, if it happens to rapidly intensify, it could become a major hurricane with winds of 111 miles per hour. Would not rule that out as well, but likely right now it just looks like it's going to remain a Category 2 hurricane on the Saffir-Simpson hurricane wind scale at this time. Alright, let's take a look at the Spaghetti-O models here. Alright, you can see here the current position of the storm moving off to the northeast, then back to the northwest, and then back to the west. Kind of meanders just east of Bermuda, and then kind of finally moves on off to the east. As I think a cold front finally will catch this thing and take it off to the east. So we can say goodbye to Tammy probably in the next few days here. It's supposed to become just a post-tropical cyclone, so the National Hurricane Center probably won't be issuing advisories on this system much longer as well. Alright, even the GEF ensembles, even start taking off to the northeast like this. The GEPS ensemble is the only one that still teaches to the right. I figured that would probably catch up sooner or later, and that was shifted on out to the uh, something went wrong, right? Just had to redo it. Alright, there it is there. Got about 90 knot winds, equal up to 105 miles per hour. All the models drops it back down to a category 1, then into a tropical storm at the end of the life cycle, and kind of remain a tropical storm through 168 hours out, which is 5 days. That's why the National Hurricane Center has a post-tropical cyclone at the end of day 5 on the forecast cone. Alright, that's your tropical update. Now let's move on to the watches, warning, advisory. We're going to talk a little bit about that winter storm raging in the northwest and also the northern plains. As you can see here, that winter storm going on up here in the northwestern portion of the United States, northern portion as well. We got some special weather statement from Minnesota and also into North Dakota. From some of that mixed precipitation may make it into your region as well. Also, there's the winter storm watches there in effect. We got a large real estate area winter storm warning extended through much of North Dakota, through Montana, also northwestern Wyoming, northeastern portion of Idaho, and also a little bit in northern portions of Washington State. We have winter weather advisory for portions of North Dakota, portions of southeastern Montana, northern Montana, western Montana, much of Idaho, northern portions of Nevada, a little bit here in Utah, and also a little bit in Wyoming as well, and also stretching down into Washington and Oregon states as well. Alright, we got some special weather statements also in effect for some strong thunderstorms over here in portions of Nebraska and Kansas, also into portions of Colorado. We got some freeze watches in effect for Utah, some freeze warnings also in effect up here in portion of Washington and Oregon State, frost advisories for portion of Washington State as well, and also Northern California with some freeze watches there as well. Wind advisories up here in portion of Nevada and also right along the Nevada-Arizona border. Got some counties there included. High wind watch in effect for you guys in portion of Wyoming. We got some flood advisories for some heavy rainfall, or flood warning in effect for you guys, in Wisconsin for some heavy rainfall. Same down here in portions of Kansas. Flood watches also there in effect. Same in portions of Oklahoma and Texas. Got some flood warnings there as well. Flood advisories also in effect for Texas also. Alright, I still got those small craft advisories for up here around the New York City area, Boston area, down here from southern South Carolina to the Florida Keys. Same from the Big Bend area of Florida through the part of Florida Panhandle through southern Louisiana, southeast Texas. Same over here in portions of California and also up here in Oregon and Washington State. And also we have some, let's see, what is that? Marine weather statement there for you guys there in portions of California. And also we have a dense fog advisory there in effect for northeastern areas also for Nevada, and same over here in portions of South Dakota. Alright, Alaska, the Hawaiian Chain Island looks good. Alaska looks pretty good. Just got some small craft advisory, storm warnings, freezing spray warnings to the north and around the coastal areas as well. Alright, let's take a look at the weather radar. As you can see here, we're going to let you see where the precipitation is falling across the nation. This here up in southern Canada through North Dakota, back to Montana, back into portions of Oregon, Portland, Oregon, Seattle, Washington, also over toward northeastern Washington, northern Idaho. All of this activity is some snow falling. We have some showers, maybe a few thunderstorms over portions of southern Idaho, back into northern Nevada, and also into California as well. We got these showers and storms also in portions of Nebraska through Kansas, Oklahoma, down into Texas. Also, we got some more shower activity over here toward just around St. Louis, Missouri. Also toward Kansas City, Kansas. Also over here toward Cincinnati, Ohio, Indianapolis, Indiana, up toward Chicago, Illinois, Detroit, Michigan. Also toward Toronto, Canada, over toward Montreal, and also some up here around New Brunswick, northern Maine through Maine. Also back in just north of Albany, New York. That's the United States. It's high pressure ridging into the area, pretty much offshore, and that's going to allow the dry conditions and warm conditions to prevail all the way into much of next week, with little to no rainfall. I do expect the drought monitor to be increased. I would not be surprised to see that drought monitor the dry can expand it further to the south because of all the dry conditions across the area. And we did not get much rainfall, so it should drop that when the drought monitor come out tomorrow. We should have another update on it, and you should see it pretty much drop to the south. Just dry conditions expected over much of South Carolina, portion of Georgia, and much of Georgia, and also much of North Carolina. I would not be surprised maybe before or maybe sometime in November, we may even have a severe drought down in the southeastern United States as well if the rainfall does not start picking up. And this month has been very, very dry across the southeast with just very little rain chances. And I looked at the rain chances over the next 7 days. There's none in the forecast at all, really. So expect the dry conditions to continue, and hopefully maybe we'll get some rain here in the southeast. Everybody gonna have to do a little praying so we can get some rain here in the southeast while everybody else getting rain. We ain't getting none, so we're gonna have to pick up a little praying down here in South Carolina and Georgia, and also in North Carolina, because we ain't getting no rain up in our area much. And let's see, pretty much a little bit down here around San Juan, Puerto Rico, and a little bit in the Caribbean Sea as well. All right, let's move on to the Storm Prediction Center outlook. We got some severe weather to talk about today. You can see we got general thunderstorm from Michigan all the way down into Texas, also in the portion of New Mexico, also South Texas. Same over here, portion of Oregon and also Idaho as well. Marginal risk down in Texas. If you live in Dallas, Fort Worth, Arlington, Plano, and Garland, Texas areas, marginal risk for severe weather this afternoon. Let's move to the tornado probability, 2%. Same areas, Fort Worth, Arlington, Irving, Grand Prairie, and Carlton, Texas areas, 2% risk for a tornado this afternoon. Damaging winds, 5%. If you live in Dallas, Fort Worth, Arlington, Plano, and Garland, Texas area, 5% risk for a tornado. Damaging wind. And hail is less than 5% in all areas. All right, let's take a look at day number 2. No severe weather expected at this time, but I would not be surprised. Maybe a marginal risk could be added later on. But right now, I'm just looking at general thunderstorms across pretty much most of the area. As you can see from up here in Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota, all the way back down to southern Texas. Just general thunderstorm activity for you guys for your Thursday. Let's take a look at Friday. This will be day 3. Alright, pretty much general thunderstorm from Michigan back to Texas once again as a cold front slowly drops to the southeast. That's why you have general thunderstorms ahead of that cold front from Michigan to Texas. But no severe weather expected at this time. I would not be surprised to see a sporadic severe thunderstorm warning or maybe pop up during that line of storms as it moves to the southeast tomorrow and also Thursday. So would not be surprised to see that as well. Alright, well, I hope everybody enjoyed this video. I hope everybody continue to stay safe and well. So enjoy the weather, because it's the only weather you got. Like these videos, share these videos, consider subscribing if you have not, and we'll catch you back in the next video. So have a wonderful Wednesday afternoon, folks. Take care.